The 2026 US Open at Shinnecock Hills is here, and we've had quite an eventful week thus far, with lots of drama. Bryson DeChambeau missed the cut again, clubs were thrown, and potentially the least popular golfer in the world right now is taking a very substantial lead at one of the most important majors in the golf season, all of which has led to a lot of conversations so far. The conversation around the whole tournament started a lot about Shinnecock Hills because it is one of the most iconic courses in the history of golf in the United States. It's tied right into the USGA's history, being one of the 5 founding courses of it, and honestly, it's one of the greatest courses in the United States. And through the first 2 days, I think we got a little bit of that. There was so much conversation, though, about the way it would be played with the setup of the course. The first group of guys went out there and I think played the way the US Open we expect it to be played, basically. It was cloudy, so they delayed it a little bit, meaning they had to actually play in worse conditions than if they had gone out earlier because the wind wasn't blowing just yet. But a lot of these early guys went out there and struggled and grinded and played a really hard round where they were, hitting the greens, but it was hard to hold it, and then they were fighting so much wind, it was ridiculous. But a lot of guys put in solid rounds. Rory did, even though he was struggling a little bit, he still, found his way. We saw a lot of younger kids going out there and doing okay. Scotty was a little inaccurate off the tee and just really wasn't playing that great, was struggling a little bit, mainly on a couple of holes, but then, brought it all back to where he wasn't that far out of contention either. Sam Burns was up there as well, and there was a couple of kids, especially Ryder Cowan up there, and you saw Mason Howell go up there with Scotty Scheffler. It's cool to see these kids up there. Miles Russell had a really solid performance at 17 years old. That's so cool to see, and Jackson Coyven was in the mix as well, though not playing necessarily as well as some of these other guys. But then on Wednesday, the big story was basically that the later guys, especially Wyndham Clark's group, got a much easier run at the whole entire course. Basically because it was watered and then the wind didn't meet that forecast like they expected it to be. It was just a much easier course to play. It was significantly easier for those guys going out there, meaning it gave them a major advantage. We saw Gary Woodland put in wild performances on Wednesday. Wyndham Clark did the same. Matt Fitzpatrick had a great day going out there with Bryson, and Bryson was almost there too. That's another. I don't know if I'm going to make a whole video about it after this, but he's almost certainly missing the cut. I'm recording this part of this video before the cut happens, but I think he finished at 5 or 6 over, and he's pretty far out of contention. But he wasn't on Wednesday. He played a lot of really good golf, was like tied for first or tied for second at some point where he was like 3 under. And there were a couple holes even after he lost it a little bit where he was driving the ball 427 yards or something ridiculous like that and hitting good iron shots and making a lot of putts. He's been kind of up and down with his putting. Either he has it or he doesn't, but when he has it, he's really elite. He's kind of underrated with that ability of his game, right? Everybody talks about his fumbling with the short irons and really high quality off the tee, but his putting can be really good. And it was a little bit, his chipping was pretty solid as well, but then he lost it again, right? Then out of nowhere, he lost it, and that continued to Thursday, to the point where he played terribly. And it's just really frustrating and disappointing from a guy that has so many fans, and whatever your opinion of it, and it doesn't really matter. I want to see the best guys go out there, and I want to see the most popular guys go out there and play and put on a performance. Whether he's going to win or not doesn't really matter to me. I want to see these guys perform. And he didn't do it again. That's 4 missed cuts in his last 5, I think, and missing his last 3 cuts altogether in majors. That's enough about Bryson, because the story was Wyndham Clark. The guy went out there and played unbelievably on Wednesday, and then on Thursday morning, he went out and played really, really good golf as well. Finished his round at something like, 6 under, which is wild, the 64 at Shinnecock Hills. That really was expected to not be possible, but he did well, and then he went and played his early morning round very well on Thursday. Yeah, he wasn't as good, I guess you could say, but he still went out there and played great, was making unbelievable putts, and obviously we know he has power. He was like 4th in driving distance this week and so far, and he just, when he makes putts, it's hard to compete with that. Like, that's what a lot of these guys are missing, and these greens have been really tough. We saw John Rahm struggling with that like crazy today, but Xander Schauffele and Colin Morikawa were showing similar things, though. Also, I wanted to add something in here that I didn't talk about throughout this entire recording as I'm editing. Dustin Johnson came back from the dead somehow. We haven't seen this guy play any decent golf basically at all for 5 years. Ever since he joined Live, he has not been the same golfer. But before I get into that, let me tell you about today's video sponsor, TheGrint. Now, a lot of you guys know TheGrint for it being a golf scoring app where you can not only log your scores, check all your stats, see how your game is trending, but also keep in touch with all your friends, with me, Bob Does Sports, and Riggs, as well as you go on this golf journey and you create your own story. But they've recently come out with a pretty cool update that I was really excited about. With the update basically covering any problem I ever had with finding places to actually go and play. They added ways for you to go and directly rank courses against each other where you can see which attributes felt better at either course to give you a pretty accurate ranking of what courses you felt were the best. Then you can go see on an interactive map in your area to tell where and what courses might actually be worth playing. So if you guys want to check it out, go ahead, hit the link in the description. You can also scan this QR code. Make sure you follow me on there so you can keep in touch with my rounds and I can see yours. And thank you again to TheGrint for sponsoring this video. Okay, back to the Wyndham Clark and the massive lead for these later guys, right? It was definitely playing easier. Not only was it playing easier today, but it was playing a lot easier last night and because the winds died down. But realistically, I'm going to defend the USGA a little bit here, where they were trying to make sure that the course primarily was not lost, that people could actually play and finish. Yes, it makes it unfair, but that's just how golf tournaments play. I did a video about the 2000 US Open last year, and Tiger Woods got the luck of the draw in that one, where it played a lot easier for him than it did a few other guys. It's not the same exact, and that's not the reason he won. Like he was on fire nonetheless, and it's frustrating. And it would have been cool if it could have been even, but that's just kind of golf. This is how it works. And I think we're still going to be delivered a pretty cool product. There's still a lot of golf to be played now that it's been a couple hours since Wyndham Clark finishes round. We see how substantial his lead is, but also how hilarious everyone's reactions to it online is. Oh my God. It's for some people, it's like the end of the world. The fact that the man leading the entire US Open is Wyndham Clark, right? Obviously, he had the whole drama thing last year where he kicked through a locker at Oakmont, one of the most historical country clubs in the entire country. Apologized for it, but now he's back and he's playing great golf. Like, that's something you can't take away from him. I'm going to get into the numbers a little bit of what we saw from him so far this week, but he has played great golf. And even though he did get the luck of the draw, which he absolutely did, but realistically, like, whatever. At least they could still play golf, and we're going to see golf on Saturday. And I honestly don't think he'll stay up there. I think he's going to kind of revert back to the mean. I don't know if he's going to have 4 straight great rounds in him, especially when the conditions get harder and the pressure might build. As yes, he is a US Open champion and all that, but realistically, leading the tournament is never easy. Just look at what happened to Rory at the Masters this year, even after he won last year. There's still pressure on him no matter what you say. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. This is Data Golf showing the strokes gained for the week. Strokes gained putting Wyndham Clark plus 2.3. It was obvious. He's just making so many putts. He's unbelievable. And off the tee, very, very good as well. Matt Fitzpatrick compensating for a little bit of less quality off the tee, less speed, though he has picked up a lot of speed recently with great iron play and making putts as well. Xander making a ton of putts. Collin Morikawa making a ton of putts. That's really been the separator so far. If you can hold the rest of your game together, you just need to make putts. Max Grazerman. Rory has been pretty consistent, though he's got a lot of golf left to play at the point of filming this, though I will add stuff after that round is over. I just want to make sure you guys get some content out. And now let's get to Rory a little bit. So as I'm recording this, Rory is not done at all. He's still got a lot of golf to play, currently hitting a bunker shot on 15. He's played a really up and down round. He's made some fantastic par saves, made one really, really long birdie, but realistically, he's just not made his birdie putts. He hasn't been there enough, and he just has not been playing that high quality of a game that it would have been nice to see him do. He's close, and it looks like it, but he just has to clean this game up. And I think when the course begins showing its teeth a little bit, we might see a little bit more from him. I think we need somebody like him, either him, Collin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, or Matt Fitzpatrick, like a guy people get behind, because somebody has to compete with Wyndham Clark. He can't run away with this. As long as that doesn't happen, I think we'll be good. And I do think as the week goes on and it gets harder, I think these really elite golfers, the ones with experience and who have been at the top of the game for the longest, will show. I'm also going to make a big, I'm going to say that the low am is going to be Miles Russell. I think he's currently at even or 1 over. He's right up there. I think he's tied with Koivin's like 2 over or something like that last time I checked. So there's a lot of talent up there, but I'm going to give it to my boy Miles Russell because I just think he's so exciting to watch, and I think it would be funny to see a 17-year-old do it. But realistically, who knows? It's going to be an interesting tournament nonetheless, and I really hope the teeth begin showing a little bit more and more as we go. But thank you guys for watching this video, watching me scramble it out. No, it wasn't perfect, but I wanted to try doing a review of the week and do a little preview of the weekend in this, so that you didn't have to wait until the end of the whole tournament to hear what my thoughts were. And I like yapping about this whole thing, and I think I always miss out on those first 2 rounds a little bit in my final video. So let me know what you think about this, if I should just do that final video in the future. And I'll see all you guys in the next one in a couple of days. Peace.